Oh my gosh. How is the weather where you all are today?
I don't want to talk about it. It's not
It was
good.
nice, and then it got gray. It was nice.
Oh my gosh. How is the
I
weather where
think I
you all
caught
are
whatever you have
today?
over there, Jess.
I don't. Oh, sorry.
Just weather.
Well, you know what? Same. Same. Same.
Yeah, it's been raining the past 2 days, which has not been fun. But speaking to my dad earlier, he did say we have been very lucky. So, yeah.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I was going to say it's only May, but it's not. It is June.
We're totally 6 months into the year, y'all. Cray.
It's too much.
6 months into this year.
Cray. Now we're expected to be in January.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Do any of you all have a random question to get this day started? This little live stream started?
If you were a flavor of sparkling drink, what would your flavor be?
Oh.
Ginger, because it's my favorite spice.
Like ginger beer or like just a regular calm ginger soda like ginger ale? Because ginger beer is way more gingery.
Ginger beer is intense. I like it much better than ginger ale. So maybe like a spicy ginger.
Okay.
A spicy brown ginger.
I think I would be peach because I love peaches. And there's a lot of feedback coming from somewhere.
There is. I don't know what that is. Is like someone's phone live streaming?
Did I stop it?
No. I mean, I don't
hear
hear it anymore.
I don't hear it anymore.
Okay, hopefully. Yeah, but I would be peach. I love peaches. They're refreshing. And peach sparkling water over here is a very big thing.
That's so refreshing. Doing that for your Bellini sounds amazing.
Yeah.
If I were a flavor of sparkling, I would be. Oh gosh. Okay. It's a tie. It's a tie between. I'm gonna give you the two options, and you tell me which one you think it would be.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So just like a really light orange lemon citrus, like really, really light. Or lavender honey.
Oh.
Now
which one you like? Which one do you think I would be?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm like. Oh.
You do like citrus. You like a lot of citrus, but lavender might come in like out of left field and be like, "I'm here," and you might be like, "Yeah." But you do appreciate a citrus. You do appreciate a citrus.
So which one do you think I should be?
Let's switch it up a little bit. I've never heard of a lavender honey. Sounds good.
Okay.
Also, another flavor combo that could be really good.
Yeah.
Cucumber apple.
Lauren's like, I'm changing my answer. Yeah, that's really refreshing.
AF.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
All right,
yeah.
Jess. What's your pick?
I think the light citrusy lemon. It was lemon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought I made that up then.
Orange lemon, like a blend of the two, but really, really light.
Yeah. I think it would be that.
Nice. It's nice.
It's so funny how you both picked the opposite one.
They're both great, though. They're both great. They're both really great. I got the apple cucumber thought because I was thinking about out the box. Once you went out the box, Japan has like an apple water, and it's so good. It's so good. I mean,
but Japan, when it comes to flavors, they're always mixing it up and doing something different. You know, gotta appreciate that. Like,
yeah. That's why I like your honey lavender, the lavender honey, because that's switching it up. For sparkling water, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. That's a good note. You know, that's a good note to head into this show. So, hello to our Twitch users and viewers. Welcome to the Arghon AI live stream. My name is Paula, and I will be your host today. I am joined by the lovely Jess and the lovely Lauren.
Hey.
woo.
Hi. We're excited to have you tuning in, and we give you a warm welcome. If you are interested in Arghon to catch us on social media, we have a few ways that you can do so. You can check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Arghon AI. That's ARGHON AI, as well as our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Arghon. We have a lot of really fun content on the YouTube channel, different content that you'll see here. Once the videos expire on our Twitch channel, those will be up on our YouTube channel sometime in the near future, so be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, there are also a lot of other fun videos that you can catch on our YouTube channel.
Woo!
Yes, yes, yes. Those who are tuning in, we want to hear from you. We want to know where you're coming from, what your hobbies are during this time of quarantine, as well as what the conversation of artificial intelligence looks like in your neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, I mean, thank you for that question, and I'm happy to know the weather is pretty much all the same wherever we're located today. Wherever we're located today. Today is Thursday. Today is our Throwback Thursday show. So the format, the setup of this show is taking an object or a way of doing things or certain technology, how it was in the past, how it currently is, and what a future imagined with artificial intelligence looks like.
Yeah.
Today, we are going to be talking about mass production. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, and I'm looking forward to getting into this conversation with you ladies. So, are we ready?
Ready, Freddie. Ready.
Ready. And are you Twitch users and viewers ready? I hope you're ready. And if you have any questions or comments, please let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. So mass production, and ladies, if you have anything to add while I'm speaking during this, absolutely feel free to chime in, because it's a lot. It's a lot. Mass production, and there are so many different angles and perspectives. So that's why we're a team, and we're going to do this together.
Yep.
All right. As it was, okay, mass production back in the day, large factories. I think even before the factories, it just was like an idea of producing the energy to make these factories run. I'm going to go back starting with large factories. Those factories were human run. To get everything up and going, even to generate the electricity or whatever was being used to power the machines in a way, like the conveyor belts, everything was run by humans. From the production side to the energy side to the, having to obtain all of the materials to put together to make something, everything was all gotten by humans. It was all obtained in a slower way because it was man run. Everything was manned by humans.
Yeah.
All of these factories produced a lot of pollution in the air. It really wasn't the most savvy way of doing things. It wasn't the most, environmentally sound way of doing anything, really. But at the end of the day, what was needed were the products that were being produced out of the production era. Okay. Becoming more aware that technological advancements can assist the process of things being produced in smaller factories more efficiently and even emitting less pollution in the environment is the way in which the metamorphosis of the mass production era changed.
Yeah.
Those smaller factories, even though mostly run by humans, we're utilizing more of the technological side of things to cut back on the amount of people needing to be hired to get the job done. Mm-hmm. So whereas it was a huge effort, a huge production to get things produced back in the day, thousands of people could be, reserved for just one factory.
Yeah.
Whereas the factories got smaller and technology became more into the story of what it means to produce more effectively, became less the need for human beings to be there and put everything together. Mm-hmm. With technology taking over more of the mass production phase further into where we are currently, there was a little bit more room for error because the machines weren't necessarily giving the consideration or the actual human eye to the quality control of what was being produced. Mm-hmm. So there was a trade-off in terms of the amount of time things were taking to be produced, as opposed to quality control. So back in the day, it took a very long time to produce things, but it was every step of the way was a human interaction. Mm-hmm. Therefore, the margin of error and margin of, things that would be faultily produced, the window was very small. As right. You're getting into the age of more technology and machines, the margin of error grew because the technology wasn't necessarily up to par, didn't have the capabilities of having the human touch or having the human eye, which is very important with producing.
Because things, just to add to that point, as because a few things happened in when it came to kind of industrialization and the expansion of production that led to this kind of the culture of mass production that we have now. So many advancements in technology, that industrial revolution where with that increase in pollution that you're talking about, where you had more coal going into the atmosphere, more smoke, factories producing more waste that would drain off into other, natural resources and things like that. What happened is there was also an increase in generally, you had more people going into cities, greater demand for certain products, specialization, kind of, machines allowed for people to kind of take on more of the production process. So where you'd have to go from one location to get, an input to another to get them to make some basic thing that then goes to another place to be built off of. Now you have, entire facilities kind of running through from raw good to final product as well. We found that, in most of those modern countries, in that turn of the 20th century, the demand for a lifestyle better than what they came from, away from the kind of agricultural, big society to more of a consumer, suburb, city kind of society where people are going into offices, people are going into, basically they're moving away from the farms and moving toward a life of consumerism where things are produced for them and they purchase it. So all of that was driving this push for further industrialization, this push for mass production, because instead of having that individual, that individual seamstress or that individual, gasket maker. Now you've got people who are like, I just want to buy a car, a Model T or whatever. I just want to buy, some early washing machine or whatever it is, because I don't have the time. I have work now. Things shifted. So there was a cultural shift that meant there was a shift towards mass production. But as Paula said, this demand for product meant that people shifted away from, companies. It wasn't about that individual kind of customized, bespoke product, but was instead about, let's just meet the demand. Let's just put it out there and someone's going to buy it. So there became decreased focus on creating high quality product. And again, like she said, it was about, just getting that, getting the thing out there so people can buy it. And for the workers in the factory side of things, you ended up having, their experience goes, from, again, the individual artisan craftsperson who is making something and it's great, to, all right, now you have, 14, 15, 50, 100 people on a conveyor belt, each one, doing one simple process over and over again until the product goes on the line and you get the finished result at the end. But what did that mean? That meant that their experience as workers went from being something that was, let's say, stimulating, you're having to figure out how to make something from raw material to finished good, into now just a kind of rote, boring, thing. And that kind of, and working in with machinery also meant you had issues like safety, right? Okay, so if we now have machines that go up and down to stamp something, what happens if a hand's there, right? Things like that meant that it became, not only did the demand increase, but it also became more dangerous for the people who are working in those spaces. And prior to the unions we have now, there were, of course, really poor working conditions for these people in these factories doing mass production, because, I think it was like with the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire. I think that's the one where, they'd locked the doors to the factory just because they didn't want their workers taking breaks. But what happens when there's a fire inside? Yeah. So, there was such a big push for industrialization, but it didn't focus on the lifestyle of the workers. There was such a big push for increasing the lifestyle of the purchasers. But again, the workers are there saying, well, I'll make this money just screwing one little washer onto the, whatever, wheel or bar or whatever. But we found that like mass production has had significant impacts, like you were saying, pollution, environmental, the oxygen we breathe, the resources we pull out of the ground, what we leave behind when we pollute, our natural environments. And as well, it's also had impacts on the lifestyle of workers, right? Because, if you have these boom towns. So during the Industrial Revolution, it's a revelation. You had these like boom towns, right? Where, if a factory opened up, everyone went in and, the town was flourishing. But, the day the factory said, okay, well, our product is not in demand and we have to close down, that meant that a lot of those towns became destitute. And that's how you had a lot of rundown cities. You hear about the factory closed down and now the town is in poverty. And so mass production in the, late 19th, early 20th century through till just about now has been essentially a series of plug people in where they're necessary for repetitive tasks, and try to keep meeting that demand. And of course, as we find the cost of living has increased, the standard of living for people producing these products and for the average person has actually decreased because prices haven't necessarily increased. And this is not a political statement. This is just truth and fact and can be looked up, at various accounting websites, national accounting websites. But that means that the quality of life of the average worker has actually gone down. And then we've also seen things like automation that have made it easier to produce things with fewer people, right? Because if it's just a repetitive task, a machine can do the same task over and over again without needing to think twice or take a break or anything like that. So that has led to shifts in fortune for people who used to rely heavily on the mass production. But what we can say also is that even as there are shifts, because in the present there is that technological advancement kind of encroaching on production. A lot of it is just that our production has shifted from the kind of I don't want to say Western, but Western production capitals over to Eastern and Asian production capitals. At least for the U.S., a good portion of our production has moved to China and other Asian countries, Vietnam, Cambodia, India, and so a lot of that same pollution and environmental impact has shifted from being in our neck of the woods now to happening in those spaces. Although, yes, it does reach everywhere around the world, because the ocean, there's no fence in the ocean per se. So yeah, I just wanted to add that little element in there, Paula. It's your floor.
It's good. That's good. That has caught us up to our present day. So, I mean, thank you for that. Thank you for that. In this conversation, there's so many different facets in thinking about production and what the future of mass production looks like in terms of artificial intelligence. So us speaking about pollution or safety or, where these factories can actually be. So the location of, are we going to be outsourcing more or less, depending on what the future of mass production looks like with artificial intelligence. I definitely see artificial intelligence working in a seamless partnership with any kind of mass production company, really in any category in which they are producing.
Yeah.
Any industry. Thank you. Yes. Any industry that they're producing in, I do see artificial intelligence coming in and assisting that the whole way things work. From the actual size of the factory, and maybe back in the day that was seen as the determining factor of whether or not you will be able to produce a certain number of things, to what is produced in that factory. So, and what is the way in which things are produced in that factory. I know even now people are utilizing artificial intelligence in, have you all ever heard 3D printing? 3D
printing?
Yeah.
Okay. So 3D printing is used to print a lot of things now that, maybe weren't possible in the past. Whole houses are being created via 3D printing. It's absolutely incredible. But just thinking how artificial intelligence can come in and basically be the builder of those homes through maybe 3D printing, maybe through, just producing the materials at a more efficient, faster pace. It may not even be you're making a 3D home the way like concrete. It could be just the materials that you're using to like piece together like a puzzle. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I remember I watched something. That's an interesting topic you bring up, because the thing with artificial intelligence, and just for everyone who might not know what 3D printing is, essentially it's using polymers, liquid polymers, and we'll call it three-dimensional imaging, right? To essentially teach a computer, hey, print something out that's in this shape. And so what happens is layer by layer by layer, the printer will kind of release the polymer onto a surface until it builds up to create the shape or the object that you're printing. So people can use it to print a whole number of things. And you have 3D printers of different sizes. So you can print something as small as a piece of jewelry to something, much larger, like Paula was saying, a house, which is usually just made up of a series of different things printed and put together.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. It's amazing how AI can change, right? Because even as we were talking about, the way that it kind of reduced jobs and changed jobs, it actually can add new jobs and new ways of participating in production and mass production that are different, right? Again, we always talk about the fact that we are an AI company who offers the Vision 2020 initiative, where we teach people how to code for artificial intelligence. So just go to our website, www.arghon.com. That's arghon.com/Vision 2020. And you can actually start learning to code and be a part of that. And why that's so great is that, AI can look at a situation, and what is artificial intelligence, right? It is a computer that's essentially been given human logic, learning, understanding, and has the agency to solve problems and make decisions and take action, right? So what is building a house? What is creating a car? What is a gasket? Adhering a gasket, but a series of problems that an AI can solve. But what that means is that, okay, we see a shift happening. You're shifting away from the human just being a part of the manual labor and the repetitive task to the human actually doing what the human does best, which is the creative side, the building side, the creativity. So a person can say, okay, well, if I'm no longer building the car at the factory, what's my purpose if the machine can do it? Well, there are so many different types of vehicles and machinery that need to be made. And there's no reason why people can't be behind making it, right? There's no reason why you can't train your AI using platforms like Vision 2020 to understand the basic points of car building, right? And maybe you come up with a car that's great for the elderly. A single, elderly woman can drive the car and get her groceries, and it allows her to have greater mobility, right? A machine won't be able to come up with that need, but a human can fit into that space and actually find themselves running with the creative mind and building things to solve new and existing challenges that we have. You look at mass production, and AI shifts things from, okay, so in manufacturing, there's something called logistics, which is let's say, the logic of statistics. It's the planning, it's not a portmanteau, I'm just making it up. But it's the planning that goes into getting things from where they're originally sourced to where they need to be, and making sure things are timed and placed and arranged in a way that allows for the most efficient flow of the process or production, right? And so AIs can actually manage that system so that you get the least amount of lag time. So let's say, my job is to stamp the box, but over at the box production, right, they're going slow because they ran out of the wood needed to make the box, right? Well, that needing that wood to be on time so that the box could be made on time so that I could stamp the box, those are logistics. And an AI can look at things like, okay, what is your current inventory? What is your supply? And is able to say, okay, well, based on the rate at which it takes to make these, you're making one every hour, we're going to need this many materials. And we're going to have to make sure they keep coming at this rate so that you have these materials. And that person can send it on, and so forth and so forth. Yeah. The AI steps into the process and creates a smooth and efficient process because it can see those holes and see those gaps, right? That is one of the things that allows for greater efficiency, saving, and maintaining of funds. But Paula, I'm going to turn this over to you. How do you see that human AI interaction as far as how mass production can be affected or changed?
And we do have a comment also. Okay. So Ashley D95 has said hello. So hello. Would it be more effective in a mass factory setting to have AI rather than people working?
What was his question? What was their question?
Would it be more effective in a mass factory setting to have AI rather than people working?
Depends on the task. It really depends on the task. Because, if the task is something that is again, simple, like square peg and square hole, round peg and round hole, then you can have an AI do it. But if it's something that's like, well, this piece broke off and this piece broke off, but we need them and we don't know how to apply them, what do we do? A human can look at that and yes, AIs will become sophisticated enough that they can solve some of those problems, but that kind of really nuanced, unplanned for, unprepared for kind of problem solving, a human is really, really valuable.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Thank you for your question, AshD95. Lauren, to answer your question, how do I see the human and AI interaction coming into the mass production world and affecting it? The working relationship between the human and the AI, it will make for a seamless process from goods in the development phase all the way to production. With the AI coming in to assist companies, the company will be in a better position to grow and diversify.
Yeah.
Meaning that the human AI interaction will be as important as the human sees the importance of AI. So if they understand that artificial intelligence can really work for them, and I'm sure, if they have a factory or anything like that, they probably have had to use some form of creativity in the past to make things work, to be innovative at one point or another in their lives, to be able to get to a place to say, okay, I want to mass produce something. There is a need for something, and I'm going to fill it by making this product. I do believe that, years down the line, humans will see a greater need for artificial intelligence. I do believe it will affect the whole process from the beginning all the way to the end of mass production. When a human and AI can come together and the process is made more efficient, possibly into something that offsets the emissions from the factory, they can even diversify the company that they have, make it something else. Maybe they didn't go into the LEED certified business and they never planned on getting to a place of seeing that as well. The fact that the artificial intelligence has come in and made their company run more efficiently, and it is something to say that I do believe a lot of factories will become LEED certified. With the help of artificial intelligence, it will go a lot quicker into that way. But I do see the relationship being crucial. But part of that relationship is part of this topic and this discussion as to why we come together on the Twitch channel, which is to reframe the understanding of what artificial intelligence is, to reframe the understanding that artificial intelligence has been put in place to help us, to assist us. No matter what our professions are, artificial intelligence has always had the huge benefit of making many processes much more simple. It is. I'm hopeful and optimistic in the fact of mass production. What it looks like now can be a faster production. It can be a safer production for the employees and for the employers. They see the need for artificial intelligence to come into the picture, possibly even encouraging. Go ahead.
Your safer point is really good. I want to make a comment after that, but I don't want to cut you off. So just throw it to me when you're,
Okay. Possibly even encouraging the employees who work at the factories to see the importance of artificial intelligence. So if you're working at a factory and you're seeing everything, say you've worked at a factory since it was the old-fashioned way, and it's like, okay, that way it just takes so long to do things. And I see that everything in my working environment has become more efficient. It has become a safer environment for me to work. What is this artificial intelligence? Maybe it's something that I can be involved in on a creative level. on a creation level. You know, maybe they can see the factories in the way that they're run and say, you know, I think this should be added. I think we can also use artificial intelligence in this way. I do believe that artificial intelligence coming into mass production can change the framework for not only the employer, but for the employees that work within the factory.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to hand it over to you, Lauren.
No, it's so true. You see, one of the big things that I know people have a concern with regarding AI and mass production is everyone goes, is it replacing me? Is it taking my job?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And what I want to say is that what AI is not something to be feared, but it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to actually work with the best colleague and coworker you've ever had.
Yeah.
Right? Because, you know, I'm sure there's many times when people working in, you know, factories in mass production have experienced, oh, they needed a bit of information and they asked someone for it, but it took a long time to get that information. Or by the time they got the information, it was outdated. And there are systems that currently in place where people might have a program on a tablet or something like that so they can share information. But that's still not in real time. There's a lag to that, right? There are... so yeah, as I was saying, there is an experience to having AI in your production process that, like you said, can make it smoother, but so much it provides additional safety, right?
Yeah.
Because we have things like you know, with mass production, one of the big concerns is always creating a safe environment.
Yeah.
Environment, right? If you have machines working and then there's humans among those machinery, you know, there is always a potential for injury. In general, there's a potential for injury.
Right.
And AI can do something that a human might not be able to do as well, or that an alarm will simply be too late to catch.
Yeah.
Things like, you know, an AI can monitor the sensors within various machines, within, you know, lasers that detect, you know, did someone cross this line? Has this barrier been broken? Okay, we need to stop this machine. We need to, you know, and AI can actually help manage the environment so that it's safe,
Yeah.
and that when there are human mistakes and human error, or when there is human error, you know, the things can be halted and the environment can be kind of made safe as quickly as possible, without it getting so far as when the gears stop turning and the hand is stuck, it's too late, right?
Right.
So safer in that sense, but also safer in the sense of, like, you know, if you're a chemicals company, maybe you make soaps, detergents, things like that. Things like air quality really matter, right?
Yeah.
You don't want you know, chlorine to get out into the atmosphere, even if it's necessary for your product. And people have sensors and different things. But imagine an AI monitoring those sensors, monitoring the levels, the oxygen levels. Again, that creates a safer breathing environment for the worker. So what happens is that AI can become so much more efficient. It can become more... it creates the space for the worker to feel safer
Yeah.
than they did. You know, that's on the employee side. And then on the employer side, think about the ways that cuts down on cost. You know, if you have to pay someone to monitor things, or, you know, you have a bunch of separate alarm systems, something like an AI like Arghon that is able to work across different devices. We're device agnostic. We'll work with a PC, we'll work with a Mac, we'll work with, you know, something created for a lamp and something created for a tractor. You know, you can actually have a unified working environment and monitoring system. So then you can ask your AI like Arghon, hey, you know, what are my fuel levels on my trucks that are out? You know, so you can have more information about your fuel efficiency if you're a shipping company. Gosh, it's almost like when we talk about mass production, we almost have to have subcategories, and we might have to do that in future episodes, because production is such a big area, right? And there's so many different things that get produced, from clothing to plastics like rulers to you know, bottles and everything, you know. And what's amazing about all of this is that AI comes in as a partner, a collaborator with the business owner, a collaborator with the worker on the floor, to bring to both people, both groups, so much more ease of use and predictability, reliability, and it means that you're not at the mercy of chance. You're not waiting until something breaks to fix it. You can get ahead of that problem, and so you go from just in time to like perfectly real time production, and you end up again, because it's I think we had in a conversation recently, one of our team things, that so much of like think of makeup companies, they're production companies, they're manufacturing and logistics. They deal with chemicals, oils, perfumes, and then shipping them to various locations. And so much of what it means to be a successful business in this age is having a handle on your logistics. Knowing, okay, in this region, we need to get this out here at this time. Whereas in that region, they want this other thing that we didn't expect and we didn't know about it. So therefore, we don't have the production to get it. We're missing dollars here. And AI can look at these things in real time and say, hey, listen, I'm seeing more chatter on this particular product. Hey, listen, I'm seeing, people don't want that as much. So I'm going to switch. Let's switch this over to this thing. And then the human goes, yes, we'll switch this and we want that. And so the AI becomes this wonderful, I almost look at AI's role in mass production as a conductor in an orchestra, right? It can orchestrate, how much trombone, how much piccolo, how much violin do you need? And then you have all of the people working with these instruments kind of bringing these elements, to the fore as rhythm, requires. And so when for me, what I want people to come away with when it comes to the discussion of mass production is that AI in mass production is an opportunity to be a more precise business and to be a safer worker who can produce better results, more creative results, make your company more money, and in turn, you get promoted. That's what how I see it, and I think how we see it, as a company, as an AI company.
Yeah, and I think it's also thinking, okay, the AI can do the kind of more traditional sort of tasks, but thinking, imagine your AI being able to continuously like change tasks. So as we were saying, like do the traditional, repetitive, actual making of this stuff, but then look into the weather and predict, the weather for the shipping of these raw materials, and then go back to the, humans and sort of make recommendations that we can trust, which I think is really cool. Again, it's sort of a collaboration. We're like trusting one another. And again, I just think costing, imagine, your AI being able to kind of do multiple things all at once. Think of how much money you're going to save as a business. So,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see it from that point of view, Jess. Like AI is consulting your business as it's helping run the business more efficiently and effectively. And artificial intelligence really is that thing that can it can be everything to everyone.
Yeah.
I love how we're talking about mass production, yet artificial intelligence is used in, culinary science. It's used in the way that we maybe make shoes. So that's another part of mass production. But the science that goes into whatever is being produced is also consulting artificial intelligence. So it's not only the factories, but it is whatever product is coming out of the factories. It is the boss of the factories, whoever runs the factories, the employees who work at the factories. Everything is just really taken into consideration when speaking about.
Well then,
when
keep going.
speaking about artificial intelligence, because it really does affect every part of the way something runs. I do see AI coming into the transportation and logistics aspect as well, and that's a topic for another day. But really and truly, can just transform these businesses in the way that it's done right now. So, in the future, how do we see a company like Arghon specifically affecting mass production?
Well, I think kind of like what I was kind of going into. Imagine, you have Arghon there not only doing the making of these products, but is consulting, whoever's in control of shipping, saying, the weather, we've got a big storm coming. I don't think we can do it. I imagine the AI talking exactly on that as well. Sorry, bro. We can't do it.
Today.
To then sort of monitoring, the pollution levels and all of that, and just kind of doing all of this stuff at the same time and consulting multiple peoples. That's how I see it. I think that's really cool. But also it goes into the fact of enhancing and extending the capabilities of humans, like we always talk about. And there's a quote from an article we spoke about 2 weeks ago, I believe, on Topic Tuesday. So you can go to our videos tab to check that out. But there was a quote in an article that basically said AI is going to make us more human, not less, or it's something along the lines. And that's how I see it.
Yep.
Short but sweet.
Snaps to that.
Yeah.
It's true. By things becoming more efficient, you're freeing up a lot of time to turn your sights on something that you are passionate about. Something like your family or travel, or maybe creating your own businesses. Possibly the people who are working at these factories are seeing how important artificial intelligence is to the whole running of the operations, that they become encouraged and inspired to possibly start something of their own. What is so exciting about this is that we work for a company, Arghon, that can equip people in the topic of artificial intelligence. And if they are even interested in learning how to do something, say as code, we have all of the material on arghon.com/vision 2020. And you can learn how to code today. And you can actually practice all of the lessons that you've learned in the same area. You can practice coding for AI, create your own programs, and we are all creative beings. So just having another outlet to put that creativity is really encouraging. Making AI makes people more human, makes humans more human. I love that saying because it's true. Mm-hmm. It is true. And it also frees up much time, like I said before. But that extra time could be used to learn to code.
Yeah.
If you're interested as to what Arghon is, feel free to head on over to arghon.com and download the AI. Start interacting with the AI on your devices and to see what it's all about. See what it's all about. See why we're here. See what this product we talk about 4 days out of the week is about.
And it's all free.
What'd you say?
Yes.
And it's all free. Arghon is free. The Vision 2020 initiative is free. So again, why wouldn't you go check it out?
It's free.
$3.99, as they say.
Every time.
It's true. It's true. Oh, ladies, talking about mass production and just what it looked like back in the day, how it is currently, and what it looks like for the future. I'm encouraged. Mm-hmm. I'm encouraged by what this mass production looks like in the future with AI and giving people the confidence. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're making a good point. Finish it. I'll say it after.
Giving people the confidence to almost start something of their own.
Yeah.
Seeing how artificial intelligence can really back a business. The manpower that was needed before maybe isn't so much needed now. Being like, oh man, I don't know 200 people that I can hire to get this factory up and running. Like, there's no way I can do maybe something that I've had aspirations and desires to do back in the day. But with artificial intelligence, it can really be that support, that push you need to get your businesses started yourself, because one AI is very many people, but in a good way, to help you get your businesses off the ground, to get your productions, actually producing, and you can possibly see a return on your investment quicker, because there aren't hundreds, maybe even thousands of people that are on the payroll. It's one powerful AI and a team that's just as passionate as you are, and you get working.
Yeah.
And that leaves me really hopeful for the future, that maybe people who weren't in a position before to start things to change the world can do so with the help of artificial intelligence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what I was going to say is essentially echoing what you're saying. The thing is, the internet for people has created more avenues for people to have businesses. People have online stores, and what happens is, the order comes in, and the individual, maybe their family, if it's a family business, or they're doing it, from their home, they fill the orders, they put them in the mail, there you go. And the thing is that there's so much that has to do technically with like sourcing and finding the raw goods for the things you want to create, finding the people who can put them together. There's so many things that are involved in the production process, so many parts to the chain. And what AI does is it allows more people to go through that part of the process without all the barriers that used to be, right? So many more people are going to become those entrepreneurs, those people who can dictate their hours, their schedule, because they are freed up by the AI.
Yeah.
So, it's so important that, when you're looking at, okay, I'm someone who's worked at a factory, it's so important to look at the fact that, we can always find new and better ways of creating a livelihood. And one of the things that we really are about in this company is progress in multiple ways. But one of those is in the personal development / entrepreneurial approach. And as we talked about, there's Vision 2020 for people to actually say, okay, I don't have those skills now, but I can gain them. It's designed for people to go from, I've never coded a day in my life, to now I don't just code, I code for AI, which is that extra level that's even more in demand, and the demand is going to increase as more companies are producing and have to maintain their AI. But outside of that, if you're like, listen, I'm not a company person, I don't want to be working for the man, I want to have my own, be my own boss, AI will be that partner in business that you can't find, right? Because we all know what it's like to start a new endeavor. It's hard to get people on your side. So when you are that new business, and you've got the AI watching your back, being able to say, this is what your inventory levels are like, this is what you again, similar to what we talked about with the plane anxiety a few episodes ago with travel, where it's like, okay, if you're afraid of being on a plane, you can listen to your AI either giving you meditations or telling you about the flight, telling you how it works, so you're better informed and less fearful. In the same way, when it comes to business, there's no reason there can't be, an A to B, A to Z on how to start a business, and then you get walked through that process with the AI. That's the kind of thing that Arghon is able to provide for people, these step-by-step instructions, not just how to code, but in so many other areas. So again, it's that gentle on-ramp for people. So when you look at AI and you look at mass production, I challenge the public to not see only the old jobs are gone, but to actually see how many new jobs, how many new opportunities, how much more freedom there is to control your destiny, to make decisions that actually work for your lifestyle. The fact that people can learn coding from their home, Vision 2020, for free, means that they can go from on the back foot, never being, in a computer, completely computer, not savvy, to the most savvy person in existence, And so imagine that, right? That is the true path of artificial intelligence. It's to help, it's to enhance the lifestyle. We call Arghon the lifestyle enhancing super companion. And that is what it's all about. What we do as a company, Arghon, is create an AI to serve the people, to make your life better, right? So when we look at industry and we look at artificial intelligence, it is always a collaboration and a work together. Now, we can't speak for other companies and how they choose to run things. Everybody is different, and some people will and won't adhere to some of the things we talk about. But from our perspective, that is what AI brings. It's a new opportunity. It's a chance to take a chance while having the AI there holding your hand. That is special.
Yeah. And I think that's why I love being a part of Arghon. Obviously, yes, I'm on a stream. I don't just have to say it, I promise. But
we don't force it.
I'm too far away for you guys to force me to do anything anyway. So, but it encourages me to be involved in this team for many different reasons. But also, I love being on here talking about different elements that AI is gonna kind of come into the world, or how it is already, involved in different industries, and trying to educate people in that area and encourage people, again, that, might think because I come from a certain background that I can't be involved in this, or, I don't have enough money, or I don't know anything about tech. Hopefully, we can encourage you guys tuning in, and say, you upskill yourself, teach yourself a new skill within this time, and potentially get a salary that is pretty impressive. So this is why I love coming on here 4 days a week, and just kind of sharing the AI experience, and showing how it's going to be a positive influence on our lives and not a bad one.
Yeah.
Well said.
It's so good.
Well said.
Thank you.
Both of you ladies, just so eloquent today. Like, brava. Brava. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it because, the discussion of artificial intelligence is a vast one. We look to come here on the Twitch channel to try to break it down for everyone, demystify what artificial intelligence is. But I mean, I am encouraged that this channel is doing so in clear and concise explanations in which you ladies gave today. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. And for those who are tuning in, if you have any questions or concerns, or you are wanting to get involved in this topic of AI, feel free to let us know in the chat. What's on your mind? Where are you coming from? What does the topic of artificial what does the topic of artificial intelligence look like where you live? It's all really good, and we look forward to bringing the message of artificial intelligence to our Twitch users and viewers, and whomever will be watching this, because at the end of the day, that's what artificial intelligence is. It is here to make your life easier, to assist you in things you are already doing, to make everything be done in just a little bit of a more efficient manner, to be that seamless thing that goes about your day, just helping you out.
Yeah.
Freeing up time.
I have a question. So we're talking about AI, mass production factories. Okay, if you were to have a factory that you had Arghon running with you and for you, what would you make? What would you produce in that factory? To the viewers, let us know. Follow us on here on Twitch, but also across our social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Arghon AI. But let us know, if you were to have a factory that you were running with AI, what would you produce?
Interesting. I feel like I would go shoes because I love shoes.
Okay.
But also,
What kind of shoe?
like maybe a trainer, like different kind of trainers. But also, I'm kind of, as I don't know if we've talked about this on the stream, but I'm very much getting back into cross stitching. So imagine I could program all these AIs to do all this different embroidery. My Etsy shop would be crazy. Not that I have one.
Wait, do you have an Etsy shop?
No, I don't. I realise I phrased that in a way, but
I was about to be like, let me know, I'll buy pillows and stuff.
I'll do it.
She might start. Who knows?
Why not? Cross stitch the Arghon logo, and then I can like put it somewhere.
There you go. Cool. That's my next project.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. It's gonna sound very strange. Possibly working with an AI to design a kind of grain that can be planted in any kind of,
environment,
like, geographical location and still grow and be able to feed people. Yeah, some grains, some kind of grain. I know it sounds so random, but like,
no, it's a big question too, as far as dealing with things like world hunger and the increasing temperature of the earth. Like, that is something that scientists are working on, and that is something that AI can help with. So that's actually a very relevant and cutting edge thing to be producing in.
That was good. That was a good answer.
Yeah, that was really good.
It's funny because, like, when you said that, in my mind, I just saw, like, bags of grains. I was like, what? Grains? But I was like, yeah, maybe grains.
Yeah.
Grains that can just be created to thrive and flourish in whatever the environment it's thrown across the land. It's like, nope, still going to thrive. In the desert, still going to thrive.
Aww.
Minimal water, still going to thrive.
Hey,
in a rainforest,
that was so good.
Yeah, that, what is exciting is that once we know that AI can be involved in many different topics of discussion, from like shoe production to grains to, the way weather is forecasted.
Yeah.
It's just, the possibilities are truly endless, which is good, because then the question really does always come down to us. What will we do when AI is out here producing everything,
Yeah.
What about you, Lauren?
Oh man, I'm so inspired by like just the way that transportation has been evolving.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to do this well before Tesla or SpaceX was a thing. But yeah, one of my dreams is to actually make a supercar.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I wanted. I really.
Buy it.
First customer. Yeah, but it's not just that. It's just like I do find the transportation industry very intriguing. So I think things that have to do with planning like environments and transportation. If we're going like technical, and I'm thinking factory, like, yeah, I mean, also just fashion. But honestly, I just think using AI to outside of what like I actually do, because I have other things, other industries and businesses that I work in. But like if we're talking something new that isn't in development, it would definitely be like smart homes and vehicles, because I just think that there's no reason why we can't be living in 2200 now, so I would definitely be using it for that, for sourcing materials, making sure it's as green as possible. It would just be entertaining and yeah.
Your answer just knocked her phone down.
Is it on the bar of the thing, so it's slightly at an angle at the back?
Moved me. It's at the back of a laptop, being held up by hopes and dreams.
Wait. But the thing that it's on, is it on the edge ledge, or is it slightly over the edge ledge so it has that teeter at the back?
The way my laptop is created, it's smooth. So there is no actual like ledge. It's like the hinges are like
I'm
this.
talking about the surface the boxes are on.
Oh, the box.
If the surface the box. Oh, the boxes have moved. It's just your laptop. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
It just slides. It slides because there is no like place to keep the phone from moving. So it's just smooth. So yeah. Yeah, you know what? We're learning as we go. It's fine. It's cool. I'm just kidding.
It is fine. It is fine. We're here to be people. We're not here to be, a nameless, faceless organization. People know what it is to have to, adjust for whatever situations. We're in a novel situation here, so no, you're not at a typical office where you'd have your tripod set up and things like that. So nothing.
We make it work.
We
make it work. We are resilient. We are adaptable. That's what we are as a company too. So it just makes sense, right? It's pretty on brand. Pretty on brand.
Yes.
Well, ladies, it's really always just a pleasure to get to talk to you about anything pertaining to artificial intelligence and regular life and beyond. And today's mass production episode was no different. So thank you for that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. To our Twitch users and viewers, if there's anything you would like to see on upcoming episodes, any topics of conversation, please let us know in the chat.
What's happening tomorrow?
We do have a show tomorrow. We have the weekly roundup tomorrow, just discussing everything we spoke about this week, as well as what to look forward to in the week ahead. Be sure to catch us on our social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Arghon AI. That's ARGHON AI, as well as our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Arghon. On behalf of the Arghon team, the ones you see and the ones who are here in spirit, we say thank you.
Thank you
for tuning in for another episode of Throwback Thursday. Be sure to catch us tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. British Summer Time. We look forward to seeing you then, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.